evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. Today is Tuesday, June the 15th, 2021. I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, a former Winchester police officer charged with sexual battery has had his bond reduced. The Hands-On Science Center is reopening this weekend, and the Carol Garrison Memorial Nursing Scholarship has been established at Montlow. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
I am tremendously blessed to be living at Parkview and very happy to be part of a loving and caring community.
Best thing you can say is this really a great place to live. That's all there is to it, no doubt about that.
It's your home. You just do what you would if you were at your private home. You know, we love it. It's great.
It's just like having a whole neighborhood around you, and it's fun.
It's just a great place to live.
I can think of this wonderful little woman that I had. She said, I can't talk. There's nothing there. And she said, I want my voice back. After the first session, she was loud. I'll never forget this. She said, there's a voice in me still. Whether it's Parkinson's or a stroke or whatever, they are not at the bottom, but they can always get better.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Hello, I'm Ray Norris, Mayor of Tullahoma. I want to thank the citizens of Tullahoma who've been following the CDC guidelines for helping prevent the spread of COVID-19. You've been wearing your mask, you've been getting your vaccinations, and I'll tell you, it's working. Today, our positivity rate is less than 5%. That's the lowest it's been since the earliest days of our pandemic. So, now I want to urge each of you to continue to follow these guidelines, and together, let's get this pandemic behind us and get our country back to the old normal where we need to be. Thank you.
Welcome back. At last night's Tullahoma Board of Mayor and Aldermen, Mayor Ray Noes read his State of the City budget address.
This budget represents a fiscally conservative approach to the management of the fiscal affairs of the city government. And I appreciate the leadership of the city administrators, Jennifer Moody and Finance Director Sue Wilson, for their professional approach to managing the fiscal affairs of the city government. All of the city department heads responded well to budget challenges that we faced last year, and their leadership is greatly appreciated. So I'm pleased to report that we have successfully met the COVID-19 challenge. That's the greatest challenge that our city and our country has experienced in many years. As of the end of May, there were an average of only 3 new cases reported a day. That was for the month of May 30 through April 30 through May 27th. So in our county, for the past 7 days, the positivity rate's less than 3.5%. That's the lowest it's been since the very earliest days of the pandemic. Regrettably, there's been 125 deaths in the county. That was 1% of the deaths in the entire state. But good news is that of the 6,951 reported cases in the county, 6,790 have recovered. So the COVID virus has not only impacted our community's health and our emotional stability, but it's had the potential to impact our physical stability. As you are aware, our city administrator and financial director took steps at the beginning of the pandemic last year to minimize any long-term detrimental effects. And now, due to the financial aid from the federal and the state, combined expenditures that were initially cut from the budget, such as we have restored them, we've restored the expenditures that were initially cut from the budget from the staffing expenditure, salary increases were retroactively implemented back at the beginning of the fiscal year. So to complete over $1 million in sidewalk improvements, street paving, purchasing of public safety equipment, and to make repairs to public facilities. That was done with some of the aid from the COVID relief money that we got. Now for the fiscal year of 2021, the sales tax increase over prior years will be 12% for sales tax increase over the year. That's amazing in a pandemic year. So at this point, the employment rate in the county has recovered from the low last year of 19.8% to a current rate of 4.5%. Today, the greater challenges for businesses seems to be finding employees. So interestingly, while the pandemic reflected a tremendous reduction in travel, including reduced use of commercial airlines across the nation, Tullahoma's municipal airport benefited from an increase in the use of chartered and recreational flying, as well as an increased use of our facilities for military exercises, all of which resulted in a strong fuel sales to support our operations despite the pandemic. Our Tullahoma Airport continues to receive recognition for its strong economic impact in our community. Last year, Tennessee Department of Transportation completed a year-long survey, a statewide survey of an aviation impact on their study reported that the Tullahoma Airport has a $21 million economic impact on our area. It ranks Williamson Northern Field as the second most impactful airport in the region. So I'm very happy to see this economic impact on the airport, its contribution to Tullahoma, and I look forward to the airport attracting more aviation-related businesses, the 100-acre Airport Business Park. Tullahoma's diverse economy, our strong entrepreneurial spirit, and our quality of life ensure that we'll continue to attract both private and public investments. In fact, last year, the Heartland Ford Foundation ranked Tullahoma and Manchester metropolitan area 7th overall nationally. Polycom organization, an independent economic research firm which specializes in analyzing local and state economies, they ranked our local area as number 56 out of 543 metropolitan areas in the United States. In Tennessee, we were second, only Sevierville ranked higher. So we'll continue to build on our heritage as an aerospace center of excellence to attract young families and new businesses. This annual budget is focused around achieving 3 priorities. First, restoring the operational levels to pre-pandemic levels. Second, retaining and recruiting top talent to provide excellent services. And third, supporting job creation, new business development, and development and economic recovery. So based on the city's projected revenue and expenditures, the percent change from FY21 to FY22 is an annual budget increase of 1.9%. Commendable. The budget includes no increases or any fees or charges and no proposed property tax increases. In addition, there are no new budgeted positions. Instead, the budget will support a robust and competitive compensation package for any city employees and includes a significant cost of living wage adjustment and funding to raise the minimum starting wages for those in the hardest to fill positions in the city's pay plan. Additionally, this budget provides funding to expand our citywide training opportunities that will enhance customer service and management skills throughout the organization. This year, the city will invest time and resources in strategic and long-range planning for the future growth and development of Tullahoma. The development of the Tullahoma 2040 plan will look out 20 years in advance and rely on significant amount of data-driven research, review of best practices, and most significantly, the citizens of Tullahoma's engagement and feedback. This plan will use as a guidebook for us to be a guidebook for our city leaders and our staff as decision affecting transportation, housing, jobs, schools, parks, and the overall land use investment, an investment in public infrastructure from now through the year 2040. A steering committee for this plan has been formed, and our first meeting is scheduled for July the 6th. Thank Winston Brooks for being great help in making that steering committee come together. So lastly, this will be another unique year in terms of the availability of significant levels of one-time federal and state funding that will be used for support capital projects and infrastructure. So as mayor, I'll work with the city administrator and the alderman to develop a 5-year capital improvement plan that'll prioritize projects for the completion in 21 through 25. So that'll be including recently announced American Rescue funding plan. So I encourage all of our citizens to become active in our community initiatives. Alderman Berry has asked, and I have agreed to allow him to lead our Get Fit Tullahoma. He'll be leading the Get Fit portion and adding a component of Get Fit mentally, and I commend you for taking that on, Alderman Berry. So all of our aldermen are actively serving, as you have heard tonight, serving this community and initiatives, and their contributions are greatly appreciated. These initiatives are designed to enhance the quality of life in Tullahoma.
A former Winchester police officer, Tristan Dela Cruz, who was arrested on May 4th on multiple sex offense charges, including 6 counts of rape, 6 counts of sexual battery, 2 counts of domestic assault, 1 count of false imprisonment, 2 counts of aggravated kidnapping, and 1 count of aggravated assault, appeared in Franklin County Circuit Court last Tuesday, has had his $1 million bond reduced, and was released from custody pending subsequent court appearances. His $1 million bond was reduced by Judge Thomas Graham to $100,000, and he was able to meet the requirements and was released from custody. Dela Cruz is to appear again in Circuit Court on July 29th. With the assistance of the Lincoln County and Franklin County Sheriff's Departments, Dela Cruz was arrested in Lincoln County. He was transported to the Franklin County Jail, where he was booked on a $1 million bond, and later transferred to the Coffee County Jail, where he remained until his most recent court hearing. An investigation by special agents with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation resulted in the indictment and arrest of the former police officer. On October 2nd of last year, 12th District Attorney General J. Michael Taylor requested the TBI to investigate Dela Cruz on sexual assault allegations. During the course of the investigation, agents developed information that identified Dela Cruz as the individual allegedly responsible for multiple incidents of sexual assault in March of 2020. He was subsequently released from his employment with the Winchester Police Department. Dela Cruz was arrested for a 3rd time in early November 2020 in connection with an assault incident, according to Franklin County Jail records. And after these messages, we'll be right back.
It is wonderful living here. I don't have responsibilities of a house. I don't have all the work that goes with a house, and you can just relax here and be happy.
There's no set thing that you have to do. However, the offerings that they give you, it's wonderful.
I think the biggest thing about Parkview that is most significant to me is that we are family.
The individuals with dementia, those with Parkinson's, those that have maybe mobility issues, need caregivers. Well, those caregivers are 24 hours a day at home, and they never get a rest. And if they have to go to work, they're kind of out of luck. So that's why Trinity came into existence 25 years ago, to allow the caregivers to have a safe center where they could put their loved ones, know they would be well cared for, stimulated, fed good nutritious meals, have activities to their level, and then the caregiver can stop by and pick them up and go on home and have some continuity into their life.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No 2 visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Welcome back. In this 3rd segment of Jack Harmon's Lunch and Learn, recently held at D.W. Wilson in Tullahoma, we hear about Army camp medicine the Union and Confederate doctors had to use at the camps to try to save soldiers' lives.
Now, at a typical Army camp, soldiers of both armies were plagued by poor shelter, exposure, unhealthy food, unsanitary conditions, lack of hygiene, infestations of body lice, and contaminated water supply. Not knowing any better, latrines were sometimes placed upstream of water supply stations, and troops did not always bother to use the latrines. If not properly disposed of, refuse and garbage from the camp kitchens and manure from horses and mules added to the unsanitary conditions. As the new recruits piled into the camps, first came epidemics of the childhood diseases chickenpox, mumps, whooping cough, and measles. Now in the camps, each regiment would have its own doctors and hospital, so ill soldiers would report to their regimental doctors. After treatment at the regimental hospital, those in need of longer care were sent to a general hospital. Now, each regiment hospital would have 2 small tents for officers and 1 small tent for a kitchen, 1 large tent for the sick. It was 14 feet square and could hold about 8 cots. And there was just 1 medical wagon for each brigade. Now, at this time, disease knowledge was still scant. Doctors recognized disease symptoms, but not the cause. Existence of germs, bacteria, viruses, disinfectants, antiseptics, and antibiotics was unknown, and bloodletting was still an accepted practice. Many doctors believed disease was a humors imbalance. Now, humors is derived from the 4 layers seen when blood settles. The top layer is a yellow serum, and it's called the yellow bile. The second layer is white blood cells, called the phlegm. The third layer is red blood cells, called the blood. And the bottom layer is dark clotted blood, called the black bile. Now, if one was ill, many doctors believed the humors were out of balance, and medical protocol was to rebalance the humors.
We'll be back with more News Leader after these messages.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Welcome back. The Hands-On Science Center is having a grand reopening party this Saturday with a free day and lots of activities. I went by and spoke with Director Sean Amadon to get the details.
All right, we're at the Hands-On Science Center here in Tullahoma. I'm talking with Sean Amadon, and Sean, this Saturday we got a big event coming up, the grand reopening, right? Before we get into that, as much as we hate to, let's kind of roll back to 2020 a little bit, again, as much as we hate to. One thing I thought that was very cool that you guys did while the actual building was closed is you had these kits that were available online. Would you explain a little bit about what that was all about?
Yeah, obviously when all that occurred and we had to close the doors, we really needed to, think hard about changing directions temporarily. One of the things was those kits that you mentioned as a take-home science kit, all-inclusive, includes all the supplies you need to do a really cool project at home, as well as an online video, a lesson plan, quizzes, all kinds of really great stuff. We did that with all our new virtual programs, our Facebook Lives every other week, our science dailies, so all kinds of stuff. So even though we were closed, we were still able to reach over 50,000 people in 2020.
That's amazing.
So actually more people than we reached before that, just in a different format.
Just a different way,
So we are really excited this coming year with this opening because we'll have that combined with the old stuff.
Right, well that's what I was going to say, that it was so popular that why not? Let's continue with it. Let's go with it. And I know the kids loved it and all of that, even the parents loved it, so that's fantastic. So we can now move past that. as we all want to do, and we can go to this coming Saturday. We've got the grand reopening. Tell us, what can the public expect?
Yeah, so we are super, super excited. We have a huge event planned. June 19th from 9 to 5. We're going to have a huge free day for all you guys to come out. Enjoy our reopening. We have all kinds of new exhibits we're going to be reintroducing to people. A brand new rotational exhibit. Lots of vendors coming out. We're going to have some bird of prey shows going on.
Oh, wow.
We have shows every hour in our auditorium.
Great.
We have stuff going outside. We have live music going, food. Like I said, it's general admission, completely free.
Great.
All the science shows are free. You can enjoy the music.
Yeah.
We have free crafts going on. We do have a couple other fundraising things, like some
Right.
face painting and stuff like that.
Of course.
But yeah, it's going to be great. 9 to 5 on June 19th. It's going to be awesome. We're very excited.
Got to get up here. And I'll tell you what, while we're here, Sean, if you wouldn't mind, maybe take us on a little bit of a little tour here of some of the new amenities or some of the things people can look forward to.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, as you can see, those of you that know the place, it's starting to look a little bit different. We still got lots of work. We're on the home stretch here coming in, but we've completely reorganized this room. Right over this way, we got our new airplane wall, and we have a space wall, and 2 really cool new exhibits that have not been out for a very, very long time. We got Zooforensics, where kids get to use a microscope and try and determine if an animal skin is real or if a poacher got it, all kinds of cool stuff. A new brain exhibit that's going in here.
And we'll have part 2 of the interview with Sean Amadon on Thursday's broadcast. The Carol Garrison Memorial Nursing Scholarship has been established at Motlow State Community College by her family and friends to honor Carol's dedication and service in the nursing field. Garrison was a 1981 graduate of Motlow's nursing program. She returned to college in her mid-30s as a non-traditional student to pursue her dream of becoming a nurse. She worked at Harton Hospital in Tullahoma and as a home health nurse for many years until retirement. Garrison loved traveling, gardening, cooking, health, and wellness, and most of all spending time with her family. Applicants for the Carol Garrison Memorial Nursing Scholarship must be enrolled in the nursing program at Motlow and have a demonstrated financial need, as evidenced by completing the free application for federal student aid, commonly known as the FAFSA. Preferred recipients are first-year nursing students who are non-traditional students aged 25 years of age or older. Apply for the scholarship at mscc.awardspring.com. Applicants must have a Motlow student ID, email address, and login credentials to access the application. For more information, please contact the Motlow College Foundation office at 931-393-1692 or Motlow Foundation at mscc.edu. And we'll be right back with more News Leader after these messages.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared.
But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective.
Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us.
Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. The Shelbyville-Bedford County Chamber of Commerce is hosting the 22nd annual Duck River Cleanup on Saturday, June 26th. The community is invited to volunteer a few hours of their time to ensure one of Bedford County's most popular outdoor destinations looks its best this season. The 22nd annual Duck River Cleanup will be held from 7 a.m. till 1 p.m. Registration starts at 7 a.m. Volunteers will receive breakfast, a t-shirt, and pick up their cleaning supplies. A hot dog lunch will be provided for all volunteers. Awards will be given for the largest volunteer group and the most unique item found. The event is a Tennessee Promise community service opportunity. The Duck River Cleanup event removes over 2.5 tons of trash and debris from the Duck River, including tires, appliances, and furniture. And don't forget to tune in to this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include Susan Johnson from the Isaiah 117 House. Horseplay will stop by, and we'll hear about a music festival coming to Ward Trace this weekend. All that and more on this week's Living. And stay with us, we'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
The food at Parkview, well, I haven't had a bad meal there yet.
The food at Parkview is absolutely scrumptious. I mean, it is really good. It's just like home cooking.
And then there are the cookies. Oh my, they bake cookies every day, and they are super.
The food is truly incredible, and it's like being on a cruise ship.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this date. Our record high was in 1913 at 98 degrees. The record low was in 1933 at 44 degrees. Average high for this day is 84 and the average low is 64. Mostly clear for tonight with a low of 59. Sunny skies for Wednesday with a high of 82 and a low of 58, and sunny skies continue through Thursday with a high of 84 and a low of 62. And that's our News Leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday evenings at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. for News Leader on 6. Stay safe and have a great evening.